Good morning, everybody, and welcome to another Tuesday interview in Mortgage Coach Land. Super pumped to have my longtime friend, Hall of Fame mortgage coach, Kelly Zitlow, as the guest today. What's up, Kelly?
Hi, Dave. That's too funny. Hall of Fame. That makes me sound old. Don't do that. Let's come up with something different.
Okay, all right. Whatever. Well, anyways, you are an icon in the mortgage coach community. I think when a lot of folks think like, what is a mortgage coach? You are one of those leaders that's been on this stage a lot, and you've been very humble, and you've shared what you do and how you're doing it. So super grateful for you.
Well, thank you. Thanks for having me today. I'm pumped.
I am pumped too. So I love the headline. You're really getting good with your hooks. I was like, Kelly, what's the headline today? And it's dominate with digital. So we know Kelly is in a feisty mood, and we're going to talk a lot about what it means to dominate with digital. And then she also said, "Would I wish I would have known sooner?" So we're definitely going to ask Kelly, like, hey, knowing what you know today, it's 2021. What do you wish you would have known last year? What do you wish you would have known the year before? I also would love community. I would love to push you guys to make this a little more interactive than normal. So while we've got some questions that we're going to go through, I think this would be an incredible experience if you guys asked some questions and you guys shared some of your takeaways from this call. So Kelly, if you don't mind, well, actually, let's just start with how are you doing in the market right now? You know, what's your production? What kind of leads? Let's just get a little update on Kelly Zitlow team and how business is right now.
Yeah, hang on a sec. Okay. So business is good. I think last year we served 496 families. This year we're on track to serve 450. So last year was obviously an anomaly, but I'm super proud and excited to be able to just help so many people. So business is good. Certainly there's always changes in the mortgage industry as well as the real estate industry. So I like that, it keeps it exciting. And so we are leveraging technology, and certainly digital is really big in our focus today about just being able to share information. There's so many questions. The media really does not do a great job in educating people. So we're really committed to changing that. And we use Mortgage Coach for that, but certainly in our whole digital media space, it's just really about education. So I'm pumped.
Yeah. Well, I think it's education and media. And to your point, by and large, most media, mainstream media is negative. When it comes to real estate, when it comes to building wealth with real estate in a local market, I think it's up to, leaders like you to create content, leveraging digital tools, and just create a positive future for everybody that you serve.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, let's do this before we drill down into let's just call it the dominate digital conversation. There was a cool conversation in the Mortgage Coach Facebook group yesterday. Someone had posted, "Hey, I'm looking for a mortgage coach," and I think it was somewhere in North Carolina. So clearly, someone who's a mortgage coach is looking for a mortgage coach. And then someone, not trying to be funny, you could tell they were just seriously curious. They go, "What's a mortgage coach?" And I'm like, well, now, what's a mortgage coach? Let's tell you what a mortgage coach is. So let's, you and I go back and forth a little bit. And if anybody in the community wants to chime in with what you think a mortgage coach is, feel free, but let's just riff for no more than 5 minutes on this. So how do you answer that, Kelly? What is a mortgage coach?
I think a mortgage coach is a mindset, first of all. It's a mindset of a mortgage advisor that truly is committed and passionate about learning and educating our community and really the country, frankly. That's what it comes down to. So it all starts with, what do we think? What do we pour in our heads? Who do we surround ourselves with? And then what modern technology can we leverage to be able to help educate and empower borrowers as they move through this process, whether it's a home buyer or whether it's somebody that already owns a home and they're looking at refinancing. What can we do to really break down barriers and educate people? The bottom line is education. That's truly what a mortgage coach is for me. It's mindset, and it's in education and empowerment, truly. I mean, how cool is it to be able to talk to people about not only building wealth through real estate, but how to manage that and leverage it, right? I mean, these are some of the coolest conversations that we're having. I helped somebody buy a house last year, and we're doing an annual mortgage review, and he literally has increased his wealth by $80,000. Now, get it, it's kind of a crazy real estate market right now, but $80,000. This was a first-time home buyer that did down payment assistance that put 3% down. And now his whole life has changed because he purchased real estate. And now we get to talk about what's next with how to leverage, manage, and continue to build wealth. So I've been doing this 25 years. I'm still very excited about just being able to communicate to people. So that's what a mortgage coach is to me. What is it to you?
Well, before I answer that, you have a value prop statement that you say a lot at the point of sale. Would you mind sharing that value prop statement real quick?
Yeah. My team and I provide an honest, well-communicated, and knowledge-based lending experience.
So guys, that first of all, that is what the heart of a mortgage coach does. Now there are some tactics and some strategies so that statement is real. I'll read what I wrote last night. Like when I saw this, I'm like, well, I think I need to weigh in on this. And I was kind of I wasn't trying to be funny, but I'm going to read what I wrote last night, and then I'm going to put a few footnotes on it. And then remember, community, throw in, what do you think a mortgage coach is? But I said a mortgage coach is simply the best and most valuable advisor in America. American flag. And by the way, I personally believe that. I do believe that the loan officer that asks the types of questions that need to be asked to give a total cost analysis and then gives a family a total cost analysis, I believe they are the best and they are the most valuable to a consumer. So first and foremost, there's that. And then I go on to say, because they give borrowers transparency of the total cost over time, and they always find financial strategies to help the homeowner become wealthier, faster, and smarter. By the way, that could just be it. Like they always find strategies. And you tell me, do you always find a way with just about everybody that you serve, because you come at it with this lens of, I'm an educator, I'm a teacher, that you almost always find a way to just give the borrower a little edge, make it a little smarter? Do you feel that way?
Yeah, without a doubt. And, I think a big part of it is asking the right questions and really then being quiet and just listening. Because once we can get our clients to talk to us and we really understand what their struggles are, what the challenges, what their goals are, et cetera, then it becomes easy to help bring solutions to the table. So listening and asking the right questions, significant in any mortgage coach's practice.
So I went on to say in my response to say, the best of the best and the most valuable mortgage advisors are trained, empowered by Mortgage Coach. It's a company. And we've been turning loan officers into mortgage advisors since 1997. So that was a little bit of a brag, which I'm okay with that. I've been doing this for a long time. And we're very proud of the fact that we have this mission to change how people get into debt in America. And we're not quite at 10% of the families that get a loan that get Mortgage Coach. But depending on what state you're in, it's between 5 and 10%. And there will be a day where 50% of Americans, when they get into debt, they get the transparency of total cost over time. They get strategies to make smarter mortgage decisions. And that is the Mortgage Coach mission. So for the person who asked, just know mortgage coaches are the best. They're the most valuable. And then I would push you, anyone listening to this, if you're not with every family that you serve, showing them options, showing them cost over time. And if you're not, strategies to pay off your loan faster or strategies to build wealth faster, you're not a mortgage coach. And I would just make the case, you may be incredibly successful. You may be great, but you're not the best. What are your thoughts on that, Kelly?
I think it depends on who you want to be, right? So what I found in the mortgage coach community is we're all really committed to being our very best and being educated mortgage professionals. So because of that commitment, we can bring information and empower and educate people. But not everybody has that desire. So, that's okay, honestly. But if you're asking about the mortgage coach community, I think that's the cool thing about this community is we're all in it together. We're all learning together. We're growing together. We're sharing ideas together. And certainly we're leveraging the Mortgage Coach platform to do that.
Love it. Love it. Well, before we switch the chapter, I'm just going to show this screenshot. Take a picture of this, guys. Put this in your work area. And these are the essentials to a smart mortgage decision according to the Mortgage Coach principles. And I've already said this out loud, but it's options, it's cost, and it's strategies. And if you want to be a mortgage coach, then become a master at this, and you're in the right place. You're at Mortgage Coach. Do that. So let's switch to the dominate conversation, because I think it's a good segue to go from, hey, you helped a family, you gave them advice, you enlightened them. Yeah, there was technology. Yeah, there was video, but it was really about advice education. Now let's talk about dominate with digital. How do we turn that into a one-to-many strategy? And what does it mean to you to dominate with digital?
Well, digital obviously is the name of the game right now, especially when it comes to video. So Entrepreneur Magazine just said video is the future. And in fact, it's the present and the future. And video is the number one thing we can do to drive results, and that means SEO, right? So for so many people, though, video is the thing that we all like talk about and we want to do. And we're like, oh yeah, we're going to do it. And then we don't. And it's so interesting because everywhere we turn, every statistic, every time you Google it, I mean, what we know is that video drives engagement and it drives SEO, and people still don't do it. So today I thought maybe I'd share with you my journey and just a little bit of some things that I did wrong. So if you're out there and you're listening and you want to do video, take note of these things and don't do these things. And hopefully you'll get there faster than I did.
Love it. Well, let's go through some of those things. Start sharing, and remember, community, if you have a question for us, or if there's something that's said that you really want to call it out, put that in comments down below. And let's roll, Kelly.
All right. So the first mistake number one, this does not have to be a Hollywood production. It doesn't. And I absolutely out of the gate did everything wrong. Went and bought the most expensive camera. Thought I needed a green screen, needed teleprompter, needed all of the fancy stuff. And I was buying all this stuff because honestly, at the end of the day, my head was all about, I had to be perfect. I had to be what I saw on TV. And let's face it, that's not what real video is, right? We don't have a production crew. We don't have all this money and all these 10 cameras and all these different angles and views. But in my head, the mindset part of video was wrong to begin with. So quick story, 2013, I had this brilliant idea that I would take my weekly update that I was sending to the real estate community, which was just an email. It was just a nugget, things that I thought that would help real estate agents in their business. And I was going to take that distribution and turn it into a video nugget of the week. So I go down the path, and trust me, I mean, it was so much more difficult than I thought. The reality was I did not like the way I looked or sounded on video. And so like when I talk to you, Dave, I don't see myself, right? I'm seeing you and we're having a great conversation. But when you start to do video, now it's in your face and you are seeing it. And for me, it really held me back. I mean, I shot probably 6 to 8 videos in 2013, never sent one to anybody, not even my mom. I mean, I was just mortified. It was just horrible. But it wasn't horrible. It was real. And I had to learn to make the distinction. So January 2014, I sat down with Shay, my marketing gal, and I'm just like, look, we have to do this. And she's like, we don't have to do anything, Kelly. You have to get out of your own way. And she was absolutely right. So at that point, I stopped focusing on me. I mean, the thing I do with my eye and the fact I talk with my hands, and this is what you get. When you meet me and see me in person, this is really who I am. Once I stopped focusing on me and I started focusing on, if somebody's going to give me 30 seconds or a minute of their life, could I be impactful? What was my message? Did I have a nugget, right? That was really what it came down to. So for me, it was truly like flipping the switch, And since January 2014, we have sent out a video a week to the real estate community 50 weeks out of the year. So consistency was the next commitment. But honestly, you guys can start by just, if you have a phone, you can do video. You don't need the Hollywood production. You don't need all of the fancy stuff. A tripod, a lighting kit. Right now, like the coolest thing I'm so excited about, you guys, look at this. How cool is this, right? This just goes right on top of my computer. I think that was like 20 bucks on Amazon, a little bit of light, a tripod, a remote clicker if you're doing it by yourself. There you go. You're ready to shoot video. So don't overcomplicate it. That would be I did it. I absolutely overcomplicated it for a really long time. So, you know, the mindset part, I really want to lean in on this, because for me, it was fear of rejection. I hid behind perfectionism. I truly did. Like, if it wasn't perfect, I wasn't going to send it out. But that was just a way to hide from judgment, honestly. So I got to say that the mindset part, you got to get clear with that. And you need to have somebody in your world that can help guide you a little bit on the details and the semantics of video, but really it all starts here. It really does. So the best videos are the ones that really you're just doing. I do them at my desk. I'm there, I'm at the office, and boom, I'm just like talking about what I do in every day. And I'm excited about that. So mindset is the key.
So let's pile on that a little bit. And I want to get some tactical suggestions for everyone out of that. But I echo everything Kelly said, and my journey of doing video. The biggest focus is it's about them, not about you. And to also look at the guest. When I am looking back at a video, I'm not really watching myself, I'm watching the other person. And if you always it's about them, not me, you'll get through it. And then it is about making a decision, and then making that decision right. Yeah. And then it is absolutely going as low tech as you possibly can as you start things out. I would even say, don't worry about the ring lights at first. While I do think, I have lighting in front of me, and after many, many years of doing this, I have got some upgraded tools around me right now, but I create a lot of videos with nothing but my mobile phone and natural light. I do text videos almost every day of the week where I just hold my phone up, and it's nothing but my iPhone camera and the mic in my phone, and record something that ranges from a thank you to just efficient communication. I'm hearing all the time, more and more loan officers, that when it comes to taking an app, they're putting a digital, putting a text video on it, and just 30 seconds to a minute to improve the efficiency of that application experience. A mortgage coach video, putting a video on a total cost analysis. So Kelly, why don't you if you don't mind, what are the 2-3 easiest videos that anyone listening to this could do and should do? And let's just say no ring light, nothing but their mobile phone. What are the easiest videos that anyone listening to this right now they could just go and do today?
Well, content is king, right? And people are dying to understand really what goes on with this home loan process. So for us, you could say, what is a VA loan? One of our most watched videos is how do lenders calculate a debt to income ratio? Like, who would have thought that video, we've had over 27,000 views on it. It's 3 years old. It's on YouTube. It's a crappy video, honestly. Like, the sound's not good. The lighting's not great. I'm standing in front of a whiteboard, but it doesn't matter because it was authentic. It was real. And I had information to share. And that's really what it comes down to. You guys, there is so much that we know is part of our process, is part of what we do as mortgage professionals that we take for granted that people understand. So anything that you're asked, just keep a notepad on your desk. Anything that you're asked more than 3 times a week, honestly, that's probably a good video.
Love that. And if you're listening to this and you've got an idea that you want to share, put it down below. I do want to call out Deborah Bird commented earlier. She put a definition of what a mortgage coach is. She said, a mortgage coach is a mortgage advisor who uses technology to provide true mortgage strategies, showing how decisions today impact you over time, creating transparency and clarity, while optimizing a virtual experience to better connect and educate you with clients versus the traditional loan officer who emails loan options and an itemized fee worksheet. So dig that, Deborah. Thank you for that. Keep the questions and comments coming. So Kelly, I think we killed number one, although we got a comment from Jeremy. He said, I deal with fear of perfection. What steps did you take to break that fear and minimize it?
That's a great question.
Anything else to add to that?
Yeah. So what I started to do was I would not take more than 3 takes of whatever the topic was. 3 takes, we were going to pick one and roll with it. We were committed to that because what will happen is it will never be perfect. And frankly, people don't want perfect. They want authentic. So if you flub a word, keep talking. So we would shoot 3 takes. We absolutely didn't break that rule because I would be there all day and I have a full-time job. So 3 takes early on. And that's what we picked the best of 3 and we went with it. The other part, and you said this earlier, Dave, but truly just being committed to doing it. I mean, there's tough things in life, right? But the fear of rejection is probably one of the biggest things that most people in the entire world deal with on some level. When you do video, it's in your face. So I would just tell you to have the courage to rise up, confront it. This is what you sound like. This is what you look like. You are educated. You have passion for what you do. Let's go do it. The world needs to hear from us.
Love it. So number one, it's not a Hollywood production and it's all about mindset. What's number 2? What else do you wish you would have known sooner?
Okay. So in the beginning, I didn't even know what subscribers were. Like, you know, we post everything to YouTube. So YouTube is our platform first and foremost. Important to do that because YouTube is a search engine and it's the number 2 search engine in the world. So whereas a lot of people I talk to, they use Facebook and Instagram for video, which is great, but that's more of just kind of like a feed type of thing. So if somebody isn't in their feed and they miss it or they're not searching you out, they're not going to see that video. But YouTube is a search engine. So when people are looking for information, that's where they're going generally, next to Google. So early on, though, I was so focused on content and just kind of education that we didn't even focus on subscribers at all. So mistake number 2 was I needed to, and if you're starting or wherever you are in this journey, start asking people to subscribe to your YouTube channel. I know it sounds like so crazy and lame, but it's true. We really did not even start to focus on subscribers or asking people really until the last year. I know I'm embarrassed, but it's so true because it wasn't about subscribers. It truly was just about sharing information. So mistake number 2, get followers and grow your channel. And the way we get followers are anytime I speak, I'm going to ask all of you today, please go to Kelly Zitlow on YouTube and subscribe, right? It's okay to ask. It's no different than asking your friends and family if they know anybody that is looking to buy, sell, or refinance, right? This is just a different ask. So we need to ask people to subscribe to our channels. That's going to help you grow your channel and certainly help with your SEO.
So I want to pile onto that, guys. So we've got the Modern Mortgage Summit next week, and well, it's the 2nd year, so I can't say every year, but I did it last year. I did it this year. I really study the modern advisor, and I interview these modern advisors all year long. And I do this like, what is a modern advisor? And last year, I felt like the big aha that I had is that, you know what, a modern advisor is not just about technology and video and dominating on digital. It's about leadership. And that was, I mean, it's obvious, but it was, for me, it was a nuance that I was pretty like, I got this thing down. You know, this year, I have this, and it's a nuance, but it's not just about technology, it's about platforms. You know, the modern mortgage advisor has platforms and builds platforms in communities. And so I want everybody to think, like, start thinking about platform. I can tell you right now, Zillow is very serious about app shares, how many people download their app, how many people are in their platform. And all these big players coming after your market to digitally disrupt you and digitally dominate you, they think about subscribers and they think about platforms. And so I want you to think of YouTube. Is it your local, like, I am going to start my own local positive news, wealth building channel in Scottsdale, Arizona, and I'm going to build a platform. And by the way, to do that, they need to subscribe. And that, like, HomeBot, that's a platform. Yep. You need to subscribe. Private Facebook groups, that's a platform. You know, if you want to bulletproof your business so that you don't care whether Amazon gets in the mortgage space, you don't care what Zillow does, you don't care what the Rocket does, you don't care what any local provider does, have platforms like the ones I've mentioned in Mortgage Coach. And then it's all about how many people have I done a total cost analysis with? How many people are in HomeBot? How many subscribers on my YouTube channel do I have? How many realtors are in my Facebook group? Kelly, any thoughts on that? Like, we are in this platform war that we need to dominate.
I think you covered it, Dave, but I would just say that using video and being in the digital media space not only allows us to connect and educate our communities, but honestly, it allows us to compete with these mammoth organizations like Zillow and Quicken and everybody else. Like, I have a voice, I have a message, I can help people with their home loan process. If I'm not willing to step up and share that information out in the digital media space, then I'm going to limit myself on this particular area. And I don't want to do that anymore. You know, the world is changing. These are very big, powerful companies out there, and they want our business. And honestly, we are doing our business the way that we're doing it because we're committed and we believe in educating people in this process. And so if that isn't impactful enough and doesn't excite you enough, then it should, right? Because this is it. This is our way that we can compete with the mammoth companies in this world, and certainly in this country when it comes to home lending. So ask for followers, partner with people like Dave Savage and Mortgage Coach and each other and influencers. You know, I think all of that is important as well. You know, share information. Key, without a doubt, just ask for subscribers, though. That's the number one thing that I didn't do.
Do you have private Facebook groups for either realtors or past customers?
I don't. No, I don't.
Something to think about.
Yeah.
It's a trend. It's a trend I'm seeing that fits under the dominate with digital strategy.
Yeah.
But
we really focus more, Dave, on YouTube. Like, YouTube is the game for us. That's really where the focus is, without a doubt.
Well, let's unpack that a little bit, because Kelly has 2 YouTube channels. She has one, which is her team YouTube channel. And then you have another one that's more of a consumer direct. Would you mind describing that? You know, because you've got Mortgage, How Do I? And then you've got the Kelly Zitlow team. You know, like, why do you have 2? And what are you trying to accomplish with that?
Yeah. So the Kelly Zitlow YouTube channel really is a combination of all of the videos that I've shot over the last 7 years since I started doing this in 2014. Some had to come down when I changed companies, but in reality, that's the weekly video that goes out to the real estate community and our monthly video to our clients. So that's kind of how that started.
So time out before we got that. So the audience for that is your local real estate partners, and you're thinking of educating them and your customers. So that is who your audience is for that channel.
Yes.
Okay, cool.
And then I started Mortgage, How Do I, really to have a broader reach and educate the world, the country, on the most frequently asked questions that people who are wanting to purchase a home or refinance are asking. And so this really takes me to, the mistake number 3 was content matters, and what people are searching matters. And for the longest time, I would have what I thought would be a great idea, and then it didn't perform well. And I was like, well, why in the heck? Like, this is brilliant. It didn't perform well because people weren't searching that particular idea. So one of the things that we do now that we didn't do before is we search and use tools like TubeBuddy and VidIQ to help keyword searches. So now we better understand what people are searching for. And then I take that and incorporate that into the content of the video. So when I'm doing the Mortgage How Do I channel, all we're doing is, what are people searching for? What do they want to know? And then I'm educating that client base worldwide on what people are searching for and what they want to know, not what I think that they should know. There's a difference.
Yeah, so it's more of a news hack strategy. So just to be clear, so Kelly's got this, it's for my local community, it's for realtors and fans to subscribe to. She's been doing that for a long time. This new one, no, I am going to be the mortgage educator on YouTube, the number 2 search engine in America, and content and headlines matter. You said TubeBuddy, and what was the other one?
VidIQ. We use VidIQ. We use both, but VidIQ is the one that we tend to use most. And so what will happen is I'm getting ready, I'll keep a list of content ideas, and then Shay, my marketing gal, will go in, and let's say it's VA home loans. She's going to start to enter and figure out what the keyword search is for VA home loans. And so it may be something like, something that I don't think of as a loan officer, right? So she's going to come back and tell me, hey, all right, yes, we're going to do your VA home loan idea, but here's the keyword search phrase. And then now I know what people are searching. So now I will incorporate that into my video, and it helps with the SEO and the searchability.
Love it. So there's 2 cool tools for you guys. Also a great tool that I use, I don't know if you use this, but I use Jarvis, which is an artificial intelligence writing tool. And full disclosure, guys, I am an influencer for this platform. If you go to davesavage.ai, you'll get 5-day free trial. But it's a pretty cool tool that I use to come up with headlines or to help with there's 2 things that I use, because remember, guys, I'm ADD and dyslexic. So there's not too much that I post on social media that doesn't get around with Grammarly. So Grammarly is my friend. And I would say that when I got a really kind of hot message that I want to make sure I've thought of all the headlines and, I'm dialing it in a little bit, I throw it into, Jarvis AI, and it's like having I feel like $100,000 a year writing assistant. Do you use that? Are you familiar with that, Kelly?
I don't know, but I'll definitely check it out.
Check it out. You got 5 free days, and I put a link in all the channels for you guys. So check that out. So any other headline ideas for you? Like, what are you doing now? Because that, dominate with digital headline that you came up with in about 15 seconds was pretty sweet. What is your, headline approach and strategy?
Well, titles matter. Bottom line, they matter. So we need to know what people are searching, right? And now you better understand SEO. So I started out, we didn't even know how to spell SEO, frankly, right? I mean, we didn't know what it was. We didn't know that it mattered. And that was okay, because it didn't matter back then. When we started out, what mattered was me sharing information that was impactful to the real estate community. That's really where my heart was. But today, our goal is to grow the channels and be able to share more information to more people that's relevant to more people. Titles and SEO is without a doubt hugely significant and important. So if you aren't aware of how SEO works, go to YouTube, search it. You will find out a ton of information on SEO. We focus on it way more than we ever did. So videos matter, and they also help the algorithms, right? So remember, digital are based on algorithms. right? So we have to have titles that matter. We have to say whatever the searchability is within the video itself. That's going to help drive results and help drive the SEO, which in the end helps your brand because more people can find you.
Love that. So 3 killer things you wish you would have known better. I don't know how many you have, and I've got lots of questions, so don't feel like you have to have an unlimited list, but is there a number 4?
No, I think that was enough.
Okay, so 3. Well, I like that. 3 things. And guys, anyone listen to this, these 3 things, it doesn't have to be a Hollywood. No, I want to change that. It must not be a Hollywood production. If you are getting started, start with the most simple, most raw video, and start with a thank you. Use your text video and say thank you to someone. Get used to putting the camera up and hitting record and being yourself. It's about authenticity, and do that a lot. And then do some mortgage coach videos. Remember, you're just giving the same advice you're giving to people over the phone or in person or on Zoom, and you're just putting in a video. Start with the easy videos and then get into the how-tos. And remember, you can make a video and not share it with anyone. Like, you could make a how-to video around a commonly asked question and just do it for yourself, and not have the pressure that, hey, you know what, I'm making this to put it on social media for all these people to see. You could do that.
And I would encourage people to do that. Like, if you're worried, if you've got that fear thing like I did, just shoot video. Just start somewhere. Shoot it. You don't have to send anywhere. Shoot it, but get into the practice and then watch yourself on it. And the more you see yourself on video, the less, the more you wear yourself down, frankly. And then you become like, okay, that's who I am. And I got a message, right? So, but for those people that build it out to be this big thing, and then you have never seen yourself on video, and then you see it, you're like freaked out. Like, we got to just get past that. So you're right. Mortgage Coach is a great way to get started in video because it's one-on-one, right? It's us and the client. So if we're doing a Zoom call, or they're in our office, or we're doing a quick video breaking down their TCA, it's one-on-one. So if you are worried about doing video, it's a great place to start. The other thing I would tell you that loan officers I see do quite often that doesn't help SEO is don't label your video Tuesday tip or market update. Nobody in the world is searching for those 2 things. Nobody's searching for a Tuesday tip, right? So you have to be specific with the title of what you're going to say and what people want to hear.
My other thing with those whole Tuesday tips is now you're committing yourself to doing the same thing every Tuesday. And it's sooner or later, it's going to compromise your quality. Now, I'm not saying you shouldn't do something every week and commit to something weekly. I mean, I personally commit to multiple videos weekly. I do this Tuesday call, I do the Friday call, and I try to do at least one other interview every week. But I think when you put yourself in a pigeonhole that you're going to do it every Friday or every Tuesday, you've now compromised the quality. Any thoughts on that?
I don't know. I think you just got to decide if you're going to be consistent and then do it. So we started shooting one video a week. Well, we would distribute one video a week, but the way we did it was, and still to this day, now we just do it more often, but up for the longest time, I had an hour a week on my calendar, Wednesdays at 11 o'clock. We would shoot 3 to 5 videos during that time frame. And then we had enough in the can that we could just distribute in the following weeks. That's how we created efficiency around it. Because you're right. If you say you're going to do a Tuesday update and then something happens on Tuesday and you don't get to it, then you haven't been consistent with your messaging. So I would tell you, if you're going to do a Tuesday update, shoot previous videos of the previous, in the previous week. So you have content for the following Tuesdays that come, if that's what you're committed to. So, but efficiency in this process, you guys, is the other key element, because let's face it, we all have full-time jobs, right? This is an amazing historic time in our industry. And so we can't spend 10 hours a day doing video, right? 1 hour a week, you guys literally can bang out 3 to 6 videos in that time frame. And then you have content for the following weeks.
Love it. So let's do this. I want to transition a little bit because we've got the Modern Mortgage Summit next Wednesday. And Kelly has a presentation. She's got delivering a keynote. And she's got a couple micro presentations. She's actually going to show how she does a one-to-many total cost analysis. So she's going to, bring in Shay, her marketing assistant, marketing partner, and she's going to really show like, hey, this is how I do it. She's also got a keynote called Becoming a Video Influencer. So guys, next Wednesday, 8 o'clock, we're going to have that. But I want to play a little 3-minute micro presentation from Shayla Gifford, because it will be played live next week. So I'm going to give you guys a little sneak peek. If you were on the Friday call, I played it, because there's some words in this that I think will help us wrap up this conversation today. So I'm going to play this little 3-minute video. And remember, guys, this is going to be airing live. It's one of 40 different presentations next Wednesday. So check this out. And Kelly, if you don't hear the sound, let me know. I'm expecting that you'll be able to hear this.
Go.
Your words, your energy, and your beliefs matter. They matter a lot. And I will tell you, in 17 years of being a loan officer and being in this business, I have a distinct defining line of when I decided to change from a victim mentality and an excuse-oriented mindset to changing my beliefs entirely. See, the beginning part of my career, I wasn't surrounded by incredible mentors or coaches or events like the Modern Mortgage Summit. I just was handed a rate sheet and a telephone and said, go get more loans. And so I had every excuse in the book that we all have, which is that processors suck. I wish I could just find a good processor. Gosh, I hate the government. They're always changing the guidelines. Why doesn't my manager help me more? This is just too stressful. There's no way you can have a balanced life, a happy marriage, have a healthy body doing this business. I'm gonna be old and decrepit in 10 years. I mean, the negativity, because it is hard and it is challenging and it does require you to be a pro. There's deadlines, there's timelines, there's high emotion, and it's complex. But that is why it's awesome. This is why there's the financial opportunity that there is. This is why we change people's lives the way that we do. When there's big risks, there's big reward. When it's really hard, there's the opportunity to have something special and meaningful. So that line in the sand for me, that decision had to come, because I was so afraid that I would wind up divorced, that I would just be crabby all the time, that I would live in total stress. And I said, you know what, there's got to be another way. And that's when I decided that I was gonna start asking better questions and surrounding myself with different people. And everything changed. It starts with a decision, then the questions, and then the people. Since doing that, I've grown my personal team's business from 20 million to 40 million to 80 million to 130, 200 and something. And I've helped other loan officers blow up and have the same kind of results, because I don't allow that kind of whining and blaming and ego. I require that we're humble and that we're coachable and we're learning and that we hang around people that are all leaning in and are driven, and that there's no bad apples. I believe in coaching and accountability and constant learning. So I'm so excited that you're here at the Modern Mortgage Summit. I hope that you not only took ferocious notes, but you come away with takeaways that you're going to implement in your business, and you have someone hold you accountable to implementing them. Even if it's your spouse or your son or daughter, somebody's got to hold you accountable to making change. Because if you want things to be different, you have to be different. Final thought, hang around people who have what you want, do what they do, and you'll get what they've got.
Ba-boom. Pretty powerful.
So good. So good.
So good. So guys, I think that playing that just now was perfect timing for everything Kelly has said, because your words matter, and your words are silent if they're not in a video. And if you're not stepping on a stage, and if you're not making a decision, and you really have no excuse, because, between the mortgage coach community that we have right now and the Modern Mortgage Summit that we have coming, you've got great role models. You've got great people that you can follow. And so I just think I would push anyone listening to this. It's time to dominate digitally and take it to the next level. Anything Shayla shed that really jumped out to you, Kelly? Or, I mean, you're a coach, you're a leader, you mentor, countless loan officers. What did you pull out of that you want to make sure everybody heard?
I love the fact that she said words matter. And I would just piggyback that and say the words that you tell yourself matter most. The story that you're telling yourself, that you're playing over and over and over in your head for the reason why you can't do video, that's what you got to focus on, right? So the words we tell ourselves, the negativity versus the positivity, the victim mentality, why we all feel like we need to be perfectionists. There is no such thing, right? So I love that. I absolutely love that. She's brilliant. And I would just tell you, like, stop and listen to what you're saying to yourself, because once you do that, now it becomes real, right? Now you got to own it. Okay, I got to stop saying that, right?
Right. So you do it. I've been to a number of events with you. I've always watched you. You take good notes. Obviously, you've implemented a lot of things very thoughtfully in your practice over the years. Would you mind, just as a coach, speak to the audience that's going to be attending the Modern Mortgage Summit this week and give them a little prep on how should they prepare for that event and how can they take notes or, organize themselves to make change from that? Would you mind speaking to that as a coach?
Yeah, I think one, allocating the time on your calendar. I know it sounds simple, but really just being committed to it. So that doesn't mean, having your LOS up and you've got it on in the background and then you're still doing loans. Like, this is a day where, honestly, if you pour yourself into and commit to the time, you are going to come out of this summit better. And you're going to hear from the best of the best in the industry. And so take note, right? Sit down, have your pad of paper. And that's what I do. I'll just be like, Shayla Gifford. Okay, here's her talking points, right? And then afterwards, I can go back and reference, oh yeah, she said that thing about words or victim or whatever it was, or Josh Metal, he's brilliant. He says this on that. And I want to get better. And there is no better place to grow and learn from other than this type of platform. So I'm so excited that you're doing this, honestly.
Yeah, no, I'm pretty pumped to the content. I mean, last year I was very proud of the show, the content, and this year it's a whole nother level. The only thing I'm bummed about is you're not going to be there in person. Last year you flew in and you did it live. This year you recorded something, but maybe we'll get in the same place together next year.
Yeah, that'd be great. It was a lot of fun.
All right, so we've got another 13 minutes. So guys, if you have questions, put them down below. But I want to hear what, as a mortgage coach, because we talked about what is a mortgage coach, you are a mortgage coach. What are some of the most common strategies that you're using in the marketplace right now? And also, I'd love to hear a one-to-one, like, hey, this is the one-to-one I'm doing a lot, Dave. And here's the one-to-many, because you've made quite a few one-to-many mortgage coach videos now, where you've taken something you did with a client, you used mortgage coach, you created a one-to-many video. What are a couple of the hottest ones for you right now?
Well, the absolute hottest that I've done both and continue to do both is the appraisal gap TCA. So we took that one-to-many to really educate our community and educate the real estate community on how we talk with people who are faced with waiving the appraisal contingency and may have to pay more money out of pocket. So if the house doesn't appraise at the purchase price, what happens? And getting really clear. And Mortgage Coach and doing a TCA around that is hands down our most focused video conversation that we have. In fact, I just had it yesterday. I told you, prepping for this call, I mean, literally, house doesn't appraise. It wasn't expected to appraise. So at contract, we talked to the buyer's agent. They gave us a general idea of what they thought the house would appraise at. And now the contract or the appraisal came in, it appraised just a little bit less than what they thought. So we showed the TCA at contract with the, okay, best case, it appraises at the purchase price. Worst case, it appraises at what your agent thinks that it's going to appraise at. Here's how the numbers look. And then when the appraisal comes in, we just updated it. So now there's no like, high emotion or they weren't prepared. I mean, they absolutely were educated. So the appraisal gap, without a doubt, is if you're not doing that, it's a big miss. Do it today, because we're all facing this. It doesn't matter what city you're in the country right now. I guarantee you, you're probably going to have had an appraisal that either hasn't met purchase price or will not meet purchase price. And sometimes sellers aren't willing to reduce the price, or the appraisal contingencies are waived. We see it all the time here in this market.
Yeah, and guys, there's a great resource in our YouTube channel. Kelly actually did a how to solve the appraisal gap video. It's right here, 6 minutes and 20 seconds. Amber did one. Dan did one. Sean did one. So guys, in the Mortgage Coach YouTube channel, all of those videos that you're seeing in that channel, those were, the audience was a realtor, where you were saying, hey, I'm a mortgage coach. Let me show you how I'm going to help your families win in a bidding war. Let me show you how I'm going to help your families solve to the appraisal gap. And you got to see how Kelly created some micro content around that. If there are other videos that she's done in her YouTube channels, we'll put those links down below. So anything on this topic, we'll put it down below. And if you have questions, put it down below. So Kelly, we made a big announcement at Mortgage Coach this week. Well, actually, we made the announcement last week, but I have been starting to promote it pretty heavily this week, and I want to get your impressions on it. But we made an announcement of a new solution that we came up with that is going to help any family with a student loan optimize their purchase power. So I get it. You know, it's not just about helping a family qualify and in using Fannie and Freddie guidelines. It's about, you know what, you have student loans? Let's make sure you can optimize your purchase power. And so we have this partnership with LoanSense, and it's pretty sweet. So guys, I'm going to put a link down below to a little 90-second explainer video. But to me, what makes me excited about this, it's not only another opportunity for a mortgage coach to be the teacher, you know, like, oh, you got student loans? Did you know that within about a minute, I can optimize those, and you can either self-serve it and do it yourself, or you can pay this company, I think it's $197, LoanSense, and they'll do it for you. So you're optimizing it, you're teaching them. And then the other thing I love about this is a great opportunity because student loans are a topic in the media. So there's a news hack strategy where, to Kelly's point, let's like, what are the headlines and the dialogues around student loans? Let's go create some content where you're the leader and you're teaching an idea and strategy. So Kelly, I just told you about it yesterday, so this is brand new on your desk, but conceptually, what do you think about it?
I'm excited about anything that helps to bring solutions to our country, right? And so this is a big deal. We all see it every day when we're pulling credit reports, and we see people that really could use education around what to do with student loans. Is there a way to optimize it? So I'm pumped. For sure, I'll be doing a video on it and see what we can do to leverage it and educate the country about the student loans. And really interested to see the integration, which I haven't seen yet, with how that fits into Mortgage Coach. So
cool. Well, hey guys, I put a link down below to a page that we have on our website that will give you the 90-second explainer video and a little 5-page how-to. You know, it's a getting started quick. And I know it's slick because Sean Herrero, I had pinged him. I was reaching out to Mortgage Coach influencers saying, hey, how big a deal is student loans to you? And he's like, I've got a family, and I think it was 240,000 in student loans. Yeah. And he's like, it's a big deal in my market. And I sent him the link, and literally, I don't think 2 minutes went by, and he said, I've already activated the Mortgage Coach integration and logged in. Now, I haven't got the results. This just happened yesterday, but the link I just gave you is so comprehensive. If you watch the 90-second video, you look at the 5-page how-to, you could start doing these analysis for clients, and they are free. So like, to do the analysis and get the recommendations, no cost. If you want it to be self-serve and you want someone else to actually do the work and the paperwork, It's $197. And you as the loan officer can pay it, or you can, hey client, here's your recommendations. Do you want to do it yourself or do you want to pay the $197? So it's ready to go, guys.
What a great way to continue to differentiate ourselves, right?
Right?
I mean, again, just bringing valuable information to the community. They're going to forever be thankful if we can help them with this type of challenge. So I'm pumped.
I am pumped too, and I can't wait to hear some success stories. So Kelly, we were in the last 6 minutes. We are, getting into the end of Q3. We are literally days away from Q4, which is the fourth quarter of 2021. I want you to put your coach hat on, pretend that you're talking to the loan officers that you're blessed to coach. Any advice you have as we wrap up Q3, we roll into Q4 to close the year strong and to prepare for 2022?
Continue to stay in front of the real estate community. It's a tough market out there. They're driving people around. They're writing, 50 offers. It's a battle. So I would say continue to realize where they're at and stay in front of them and find ways to help them in their jobs, without a doubt. So picking up the phone, doing Zooms, face-to-faces, video, obviously, focus on the real estate community. They need us now more than they ever have. So sometimes I think that, we're like, oh, we're so busy. Yeah, no, we can never be too busy for the real estate community. So that is number one. And number two is our past clients. So if you're not doing annual mortgage reviews, or you don't have a system to stay in front of your past clients, consider some of the tools that you spoke about earlier, HomeBot. We're getting great results out of HomeBot. It's a fantastic tool. And again, just being able to educate people on what's going on with the value of their house, what they can do to leverage it. That's what HomeBot's all about. And it keeps us in front of our database. So those are the two areas that we focus on. I always have, and we'll continue to do that through the rest of this year.
So I'm going to
a couple other things, Dave, I do want to say with regard to Facebook, we do have a real estate video influencer Facebook community on there. And I would invite you all. It really is geared towards any real estate professional. So it can be title, lending, or a realtor themselves. If they want to do video, they want to get better in the digital media space. It's really just a community to come together, no judgment, to learn, to share, and to grow. So y'all are welcome to join that. I know you asked about a Facebook community earlier, and that's really the one that I do these days. And then lastly, one other thing, accountability. I didn't mention this earlier, but if you don't have an accountability partner, which I'm a big believer in coaching, why do we coach? Why do we have a coach? Because we need the accountability. Video is no different. So you need to find somebody that can hold you accountable. Honestly, I mean, I've got the best of the best with Shay, my marketing gal. She literally marches into the office at my designated time on my calendar. She tells me, you have 5 minutes, wind it down, and then boom, when it's my time, and she has me for an hour. So that accountability helps me be better and be consistent with getting out the video content. So if that will help you too, find somebody in your world that can be your accountability partner.
And highly recommend, guys, Deborah Bird, plugandplaysm.com is a great coach and accountability partner. Not everybody is as blessed as Kelly is to have a Shay. And it's also, remember, guys, Kelly, her and Shay have been making this a priority since, 2015. Shay didn't become Shay overnight. And you haven't built out call it the media. Hey, you're a mortgage professional, but you've got a media department. And guys, you can outsource that. And I recommend that you do. And heck, there's a lot of folks that have their own team and they still outsource some of it. Yeah. So make sure you guys reach out to Deborah. For a closing, guys, Kelly has been just such a gift to this mortgage coach community. And, the best way to say thank you to Kelly, it is to subscribe to her platforms. She wants to help everybody. She creates this content for impact. And so, follow her YouTube channels. One of them is a nationwide platform. So you guys can use that content if you're not in her market and you're not competing with her, and you can use that content for inspiration. So follow her. And then I know you also have another Facebook group, Kelly, that's near and dear to your heart. I just want to make sure people know how to follow you and connect with you in your community. So give us the top 3 channels or platforms you want people to follow.
Sure. So please subscribe to Kelly Zitlow on YouTube and Mortgage How Do I on YouTube. Our Facebook communities are Real Estate Video Influencer. If you're wanting to focus on digital and getting better in the video space, and you're a real estate professional, loan officer, realtor, etc. And then lastly, you certainly are welcome to join our Facebook community called Sunshine Warrior. That one is near and dear to my heart, has nothing to do with mortgage lending at all. It really is just an environment where we bring people together to lift others up. It's all about positivity and sharing light.
Beautiful. So guys, follow Kelly Zitlow today. Hopefully you got value from today's conversation. Kelly, you are a massive gift to this community. I appreciate your friendship and all the value you transparently and authentically bring into the community. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks for having me, Dave. You guys, let's rock it. Be real, be you, do video.
Right on. Give us a like, subscribe to both our channels. Have an awesome day, everybody. Take care.